everyone. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Although I am a licensed clinician, I'm also just a person. I love to be able to be in my real life and speak from that point. And that's where this podcast is coming from. So enjoy.
Searching for truth, looking for answers. There must be a way to another day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keanvenient Truth.
Yo, yo, I'm Joe.
I'm Aaliyah. We're the Keens.
Here we are. 101, episode 101. Here we are. We've been talking a lot about things lately, and I want to get to the source, and then I also want to talk about a couple of topics. One being the idea of being put in boxes and teams, and it's an easy thing to do for people, because everybody has their life going on, their kids, their jobs, their whatever, their side projects, the gym, and all this other stuff, right? Everybody's got a lot of things going on. So if it's somebody outside of their bubble, then it's they're just looking to all right, where does this guy kind of fit? Okay, just put him in that box, and then that's what I'll think about him. When I think what we should think about as a culture is that it's a lot more complicated than that. Every individual, including you listening to this right now, is an extremely complicated person, right? And you have different thoughts and different ideas on anything, on this bottle, on this computer, on the wall behind me. You have all kinds of thoughts and ideas. So if we can understand that about everybody and not throw everybody in a box, I think we'd be able to be more open-minded to other ideas and thinking. Now, here's my example, right? We can do this with basically everything except for politics. I thought about this in the sauna today.
Meaning, you're just saying,
we're able to do this.
People are able to do this except for politics.
Yes, it's so weird.
But even when it can be done with politics.
It can be done with, it should be done with politics, right? So I was thinking, say you're into football, right? Mm-hmm. And all your buddies are into football. You can not like a team because it's not your team, right? You can be oh, the fucking Bills suck or whatever. They think they're so good, but they suck and they always lose. So I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Whatever think of whatever your scenario is, right? But most likely you can look at that team, the Buffalo Bills, and be they really suck, but the running back, whatever his name is amazing. And if he was just put in the right team to do the right thing, he would be so great, right? Stick with me. So, I hear you. So you're fuck that team, but you can see the good in the team, and if they just did X, Y, Z, then they might be a good team, right? You can do that. Everybody can do that.
Some people can't do that with even.
They can't even do that with football. You don't think?
Because there's some diehard football fans that'll be fuck them.
No, I know that they can because the way that it is now, it's not just teams in football. It's the draft, and you may have a guy on the team that you hate, but you want him to get so many yards that day because it's going to make you money. So you're kind of rooting for the guy to get the yards, but you don't want the team to win, right? So I know that people could do it in that. And then think of any other scenario. You can be I don't know. Can you think of anything like similar to that, like a team mentality thing?
Even if I watch a movie, let's say, right, and I'm going into it, right, and I'm going into it watching a specific movie, right, And if someone's like, "Oh, how was the movie?" I could say something like, I mean, it was good, like all around. I mean, I didn't like that they chose so and so to like have this part because I just feel like it just didn't really like pop,
Right,
for
for
like the
that
movie or anything
person. Yeah.
like that. But all in all, the movie was good. Like whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
these are really general like
Super general. We do this
examples,
all
but
the time. But when it comes to politics, I think this is why. Because it can be overwhelming. Like there's so many things going on. There's so many pieces of the puzzle. There's like the FBI, there's the CIA, there's the president, there's the Congress, there's the Senate. They're all doing a million different things. And to really be like on top of all of them is almost impossible. Right. So we just say, all right, I don't know enough about this, but like, that's a Democrat, so most likely they think like this, so fuck them, or whatever the fuck it is, right? Or vice
or that's
versa.
Republican, right?
Yeah. So where was I going with that? I think
So basically,
it's doable.
you're connecting, right? You made these examples, and now you're trying to connect, and then you were going into politics in terms of like, okay, now with politics,
Right. It seems to be like like we can't do that as a culture, but we can. You do it all the time. We choose not to because it seems overwhelming and complicated.
it seems quite easy to me.
Well, this is what I like. We should be able to be like, hey, I'm not Republican or Democrat, but this Republican is came up with this bill that I agree with,
And I thought
and
that was pretty
that
cool.
Democrat is doing this particular thing in his state
And I think that's pretty cool.
that I like, but like, don't call me a Democrat because I just did that, or don't call me a Republican because I like that thing.
So then so then people are gonna be like, well, then what's the word, right? And then that word, you're right, that word neutral doesn't really actually fit at all. So I actually take like all the times that I've said I'm neutral, I take that back because we really did talk about that.
Yeah.
And I really actually broke it down and I'm like, no, if we look up, let me actually see for a second.
Yeah, but
What does it mean actually to let's just get really
it's not
precise here.
neutral. It's like we're making decisions on particular topics that may or may not go along with one side or the other, right? But the decisions are being made. It's
Here
not
we
being
go.
like neutral and just like
So
letting
neutral,
things happen.
not helping or supporting either side in a conflict or disagreement.
And that's
Having no strongly marked or positive characteristics or features. So, right. So, guess what? Based on that definition, I am not neutral.
yeah,
I now know that to be very, very true.
because
I'm
you
still
do have
clearly,
opinions and thoughts
yeah,
on
I'm
things.
still clearly trying to figure it out. But I'm not neutral, and I'm not this, and I'm not that. So then it's like, well, then everyone wants to, it's like everyone wants to have a name
Yeah,
connected to
because they
something
want to
because
throw
then
you
that
in a
puts
box because
me
it makes you
because then it's
easier
like,
to.
well, then what are you? And it's like, I don't know the word for that.
I think it's okay to be that. Like, as long as, yeah. Now, neutral would be somebody that's just
Well,
like,
Talib
I don't.
Kweli would say different.
He doesn't like neutral. Yeah.
Talib Kweli
But
does
I
not
don't
like
think he
neutral.
knows the definition of neutral.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no. I can understand why he doesn't like neutral because that makes sense to me why someone doesn't like neutral. Now that I
'Cause you're not
actually
picking a
understand,
side.
right? It's like you can't just be like, "Oh, I'm not supporting either." You're right. I actually do kind of get that. Like either or. It's like no, but I have aspects of this that I support, and then I have aspects of this that I support. So it's not neutral. You're right about that, people.
Well, this is the
So
problem.
what is it?
This is the problem with the party system. Like, our founding fathers actually didn't like parties. It wasn't a thing that was happening early on. And it was a reason for that because of exactly what's happening right now. Now, imagine if we've gone this whole 250 years in America with no parties and we just, whoever spoke up about whatever things that were needed to be done in America, and we voted for that person and just said, Billy Smith is our new president. Fuck yeah. And then 4 years later, it was fucking Alan, whatever. Why does the party have to be associated with it? Like, there's different ideas and aspects from each side that are good and bad.
I think at the end of the day, I think that it would actually, and I'm going to hear me out with this. I think that if it was to truly be a mixture of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would make it too difficult and complex for them to really figure out how to go about that because you're mixing both worlds. And so because of that, people don't want to take on that task because it's just too fucking hard. So they're like, fuck it. Let's just split everyone up and make it all divided because that's easier. We're either going to go all this or we're going to go all this. It's very all or nothing thinking, people. It's
Right.
very black or white. I don't think black and white.
No,
I
you
definitely don't.
can't.
I'm
Especially
definitely
when,
a gray area thinker. I am not black and white. Unlike many things, I feel like I'm not black and white. It's
but
actually
especially
very
when you're dealing with like people like we do on a regular basis, right? It's like you have to see all the
right.
complexities in each individual
Now there's
to
some
help
things I
them
am
through
black and
things.
white, like for example, black and white. Let's see.
Like making a decision on
Black and
their
white.
life or whatever.
Killing someone is
Some things like that, yeah.
not okay.
I don't care who it
I
is.
stand strongly
Right.
about that. Right. I'm not black or white on that. I actually stand very strong on that. Now, can I, because of what I do for a living, and I think this annoys people, but because of what I do for a living, can I take a step back and still say that killing someone, no matter who you are, is not okay in any way, shape, or form? Yes, I do believe that hardcore. But then I could take a step back and I could say, man, okay, well, let's look at all the different that UFC fighter Cain Velasquez, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got what, 5 years in prison?
I don't even think he got that much.
He got
I think
like
I like
5 years or something like that.
I think he got 1 year.
No, no, unless he had time served already. But anyway, old UFC fighter Cain Velasquez, he found out that what was it, his
Is his
brother?
niece or something? It
No, I
was
know, but who did it though? It was his niece was sexually abused, molested by like it was
some
somebody,
guy,
yeah,
some other guy,
some
like
guy, and
close to the family or something.
he killed him again. I am not okay with that. I don't think killing people in general is a good thing in any way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
But when I take a step back and I look at all the pieces to it on a clinical level, because I can do that, I can sit back and go, okay, clinically, man, there's like,
Right.
this is like a case study. You know what I'm saying? Like I could like clinically pick this apart like no one's business,
Which
you
clearly
know?
the courts kind of saw the same situation
I
because
believe
if
they
you
did
kill
because
somebody,
they
then
didn't give him
he would have been in jail for life, right?
exactly. So basically, then the legal system even kind of has that going on then a little bit,
It
right? Where it's
throw
like, okay, we're still going to give you a consequence and we're still going to say that killing's bad, right? But we understand why.
and this
It's
is
very like,
and this is part of the reason why America is one of the best countries because we've set up this system a long time ago, like 250 years ago, that we have these separations and then we have a place for debate and argument, which is in the courts, I guess, right? And then they decide because they hear the specifics about each scenario and then make a decision on it, right? Um, obviously some cases are different, and then
right.
it depends on who the judge is, and all the there's a lot of details in it. But that's what everything is. Literally everything. Like, how do you come to your own opinions? Because you went through a whole process. It could even be from like your parents. They just injected into your mind of like whether it's to be a Democrat or Republican when you're at a young age, and you just like assumed these thoughts and opinions when maybe some of them aren't even yours, right?
You know what? I'll take a good one actually. I feel like this is a good one to really kind of break down in terms of like, because I want to know. Okay, so when it comes to the trans population, okay.
Mhm.
Again, let me disclaimer before anything gets taken out of proportion here. I am all about an LGBTQ population. So that's not the case, but I do want to break it down a sec because there are people who are not, right? And I've heard those sides as well. Now the rule or the law, whatever, about the or the whole conversation, I guess, about allowing people who are trans to use the bathroom, right? That is based upon their um, preferred gender. I hope I'm saying that right. So okay, man, I mean, I could really, again, I also do, like, this is how my brain works. I do this for a living. So I can really kind of, so on one side, do I completely understand the trans population in terms of why they're like, absolutely, that should absolutely be able to be, absolutely 100% I do. I work with that population. Oh my gosh, the mental health aspect in the population, when I sit there and I have people sobbing and crying in my room, and just because they feel they are this and that is who they are and that's it, and then for somebody else to say, hey, okay, we hear you, but no, you're not, you still have to do, that is like a gut-wrenching dismissive thing, and they've been dismissed throughout their whole entire fucking life basically. So I completely get that, and my heart wrenches for them for that, right? On the other side, when I'm listening to somebody who, let's say, they don't even have to be, they could be completely okay with the trans population or completely not okay, right? But their argument is that they don't feel, I guess, comfortable, safe, or whatever, right? Having someone whose biological gender is, let's say, male in a female bathroom. They just don't feel, for whatever reasons. Maybe they were sexually abused. Maybe they were this. Maybe
Right,
they were
right.
that. I have no idea, right?
Both sides need to be respected
So
at some level,
so that's
right?
what I'm thinking, right? Is that I believe that both sides do need to be respected, because I actually do hear what both sides are saying, and I think there's actual, like, there's validity to what both sides are saying in some of those situations. So to completely shit on the trans population and say, no, fuck you, but then to completely shit on the other people who have valid reasons as to why and say, fuck you, I don't think is, I don't think that's the way. But the reason why we don't do it that way is because it would be too difficult. Because then it's like, well, then what do you do?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, then what do you do?
maybe the answer is a third bathroom.
But it still makes it'll still make the, no, see, that's difficult because,
A bathroom where, like, if you don't give a shit about anything, like if I was at the airport or
oh,
right,
for everyone
yeah,
who, let's say, don't,
even if I was like I'm clearly straight and married, right? But if I say I had to go and there was a line at the guy's bathroom, I would just be like, I don't know, I'll go in that one because I don't care. But some people might be like,
okay,
really, like, no, I'll wait in
so
that line
not
because I'm
okay.
not going in there.
I think that's
You
a
know?
good one. Yeah, because usually people are like, well, then make a separate bathroom for them, and I'm like, no, that's still fucking dismissive and
No, it's
still
at
totally
every.
like, it's
You know
it's
that when you're going in that bathroom,
anyone
anything
could
is
go in
open,
there.
anything is possible in there. So
Anyone, it's
you
game.
can avoid it if you want, but there it is if you want it.
Oh, that would be the middle. Now I'm wondering if there would be any negative thoughts from either side on that one, because I got to tell you, I feel like that would be a great middle, but maybe I'm missing something because sometimes I don't really understand or know it until I'm speaking to someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that population, and then they have to school me, and then I'm like,
But off the
oh,
top of the head,
okay.
it's like,
Off the
okay, that
top of
makes
my
sense.
head, I can't think of anything right now, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Huh.
in everybody bathroom.
That's going to require more money.
You know,
And more,
all the
that
places,
means everywhere in
every
the world
place you
has to
go.
have three bathrooms, right? So more money for everyone. But it's like, I mean, who cares?
For me, I would not want it. I would want to know. All right, say I'm like the governor of, I don't know, Iowa or something, right? I would want to know how many transgender people are actually in my state before I start making those decisions. If it's like 0.001% of the population, you can't change everything for that amount. Now, if it's like 10% or 20% or something, or even like maybe, I don't know, maybe even like 5 in certain areas, and you find those areas, like maybe then. But it's like,
But not,
everywhere you go, hold on, everywhere you go in the world, there are men and women, like millions, billions everywhere, right? So that's why we have that. Now, if you're taking up a significant chunk of that population, and is like 20 or 30% of the world population is transgender, okay, maybe it's like time to start building new bathrooms for everyone. I don't know.
my thing about that, just how you said it, is that, like, let's say in Arizona, there's only, I don't know, point, whatever you said,
Yeah.
right? of the trans population.
Like 0.001.
So then,
let's just
therefore,
say.
they're like, okay, well, we're not going to do this, right?
Mhm.
But then in what's the state next to Arizona?
I don't know, like Nevada or something.
You don't know? You're the one who usually knows all that.
That's the West Coast.
Whatever state next to Arizona, right? So say in the next state,
Yeah.
they actually have a really high population, right?
Okay.
So therefore, they have all these bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
Now it becomes a situation like the whole abortion thing, where it's like, oh, well, I can't get an abortion in Arizona, but I can get an abortion in the next state over. Which is like just like annoying.
My thing
all
is like
around.
I say Joe Keane, and I'm like, I get a bunch of people, I don't know, a few thousand people that are like want to do something. I don't know. We are all like, black hats are the shit, and everybody needs to be wearing a black hat. If you're not wearing a black hat, you're a fucking idiot, right? I gotta go out there and like, is the whole state gonna change for the 1% of people that are like, yes, black hats are the fucking shit? I know it's like not gender, which is a whole totally different thing, but it's kind of along the same realm.
No,
especially at low percentages, like a small amount of people. Like there's people out there, there's fucking furries, right? There's a lot of them, but there's not enough to make a furry bathroom. Just saying. I'm trying to like find things that are kind of in the ballpark.
Furry bathroom. And
but
actually,
there's a lot of them. They have conventions of that shit.
My abortion example isn't even an example that goes close to that, because with a, let's see,
abortion, because everybody like,
well, no, but
women,
but if I'm trans, right, and like I'm trans, so that's how I'm living my life, right? That means that now for the rest of my life, because maybe I don't have the means to move or anything like that, I now have to constantly use the bathroom of not my gender that I feel like I am. Versus, let's say if I'm pregnant, you're only pregnant for like 9 months, and then it's done, right? So it's not like you're like living with that for the rest of your life.
All right, how about this one? I think, and I know for a fact, and we're heading in that direction anyways, but I think everybody should be eating organic. There should be no non-organic food in the grocery store. This is a pretty logical thing, right?
I agree, and actually,
but hold on. Even though there's a significant amount of people that agree with me right now, even it might even be 10-20% in every state, maybe more, right? Are they doing that? No, they're not. Why not? I don't know, because I don't know, big pharma, big grocery fucking owns, like, gives the politicians lots of money, whatever the fucking reason. But like, I want that right now. Why aren't I getting that right now? I don't know. Well, then, so what I do is I find the stores that do that, and that's where I shop at.
Yeah, but the bathroom thing, that's also not a good example for that either, because they can't find a bathroom in the state of Arizona that doesn't fucking give it to them.
This is also on the table as well. Any store or anywhere, if they believe strongly in that, they can build 3 bathrooms in their store.
Like independently.
Just like I have to go to Whole Foods because they don't have any of my shit at Stop and Shop. Should I be out there protesting Stop and Shop? Actually, I should. And it's actually a pretty fucking strong argument that like everybody should be eating organic. I don't know why the fuck we're not, right? But we're not. We just say, okay, we'll just build our own world. There's Whole Foods. They got all the food that I like. So I'll drive an extra 3, 4, 5 miles to get there. It's inconvenient for me, but this is what I do because this is how I want to live my life.
All right, Mr. Privilege. We also have a car.
Listen, I'm
just throwing out the other factors, throwing out the other factors. A lot of people, let's say, don't have the means. They don't have cars, right? Because they can't afford a car, pay for a car. They're taking the public transportation system. They're having this. How the hell are they going to get to?
But this is where this is where people start getting into this utopia world where we can save everybody and do all the right things precisely for everybody that thinks certain different ways and whatever.
Okay, right. So we got to find the balance. So what's the balance? What's the balance?
Nobody's catering. It's
because even with the balance, we're not going to get everything that we want, right?
No,
So
you're
with
never,
the balance, right? Okay.
And That's why America is the greatest place, because we are the closest to an open balance between being the possibility, opportunities, right? That's why they call it the land of opportunity. Like I said, if there's enough people in an area that are trans, and there's store owners that are trans and whatever, then guess what? You're gonna get all these things you want. Or if there's supporters of trans, you'll get the third bathroom in those places where you like to go anyways. Like, you know, if that's the topic, but like, whatever it is, like I found my organic home at
I feel like
Whole
that's starting.
Foods.
I feel like that's kind of happening a little bit now.
Yeah,
like,
that's great.
But like with more so with other things, like obviously more so with organic food, but with like, let's say bathrooms, right? For the trans population, there are some places where I've gone to where like more so like lounges or like, stuff like that,
Or
restaurants
it's
or
just
restaurants.
unisex.
Yeah, where it's unisex. So like some places have independently been starting to do that because that's just what they want to do.
Oh,
But I don't think there's enough.
that's a great one right there, right? You've been to the unisex bathrooms, right? So each stall is like an individual, like little bathroom, and then you come out and you're washing your hands with like women are on one. It's kind of you've
Yeah,
been to those
yeah,
places
yeah.
where it's just a mix. The area where you wash your hands and shit
Is
is
everyone.
anybody can go there,
But
but
the
the bathroom
stalls
itself
are
is like a door, and only you can go in there.
Yeah, so why do we have that?
That's fine.
That's actually
But the
great.
problem
That's
is
a
like
balance.
it's the amount of money that would have to go into it. Can't be a law that's requiring this,
No, that's what I'm
because then
saying.
you're like
Once the
forcing
laws
everybody.
once
if
the laws come into this, that's what fucks it all up.
This is the
Because now it's like, well, now you have to do this,
Yeah.
and then that's when you get other people who don't want to do it be like, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it." It can't be a law. It just
Yeah.
has to be like a, hey, it's just a part of life.
an idea like we just all agree,
It's just
think
here.
about.
It's a part of life. It's here. This is how we live. No big deal.
Yeah. A long time ago, I've told you this before, that I ran for state house and state senate in Minnesota. And when I did that, it was literally only like, it was a very small part of my life. And I got shit on, right? And through that process, I realized the way to shift culture and get the things that I want out in the world is through culture, like being in it, talking to your neighbors, talking to business owners, doing putting that energy out there into the world of what you're looking for and attracting that energy. And that's how you shift everything. You don't do it through politicians and government and forcing everybody to do shit. That is not cool.
Well, hello, guys. Let's think about it. I mean, like when you were younger or teenagers and your parents forced you to do something, how'd you feel about it?
Exactly.
Probably didn't like it. That's for sure. You probably wanted to rebel. You probably walked away like, fuck you, dad, like, or whatever it is, right? So, like, nobody likes really to have things forced upon them. It's not like a fun.
Here's the other part about, say, if they made a law where, like, all right, now everybody's going to install a third bathroom, right? There's businesses that a lot of businesses, believe it or not, are not like making shitloads of money, right? Like they're like making enough to get by. They're making a living, but they're not like millionaires. And there's a lot of those businesses, right? And even if the business is making $1 million a year, there's so much overhead depending on what it is.
Right.
Say it's like a coffee shop or wherever, all the food, the fucking labor, all that shit, right? They're probably only pulling in maybe like a couple $100,000, and that's between like, say it's a husband and wife, they're making $100,000 each a year,
Right.
and they're busting their ass, right? Now the government says you got to put in a third bathroom that's going to cost you $20,000. That could be all you have in the bank, or maybe you have less than that, and you're like, I'm forced to fucking spend this money on a bathroom where we only have one transgender person in the radius of fucking 10 miles from here.
Where my thought goes though is that if you're gonna make that kind of thing a law, that's fine, right? And it's coming from you, that's fine. But then that means that you need to provide me the funds to actually fucking do that.
That's another thing.
I'm just saying.
Sure.
Because,
I'll put in a third bathroom. Give me the money to do it. Where does that money come from? Government doesn't have money. They get money from the people. So the taxes have to go up or some other fucking shit.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
It's a never ending thing. That's why the battle is not to be had within politics. It's to be had within your neighborhood and your culture, and just having good conversations with people and having enough support for whatever the fuck it is that you want to do it. If you don't have support, that means there's not enough people that care about it. That's the end of it. So then you're on your own, which is very, like, it's a tough place to be. Like, there's so many things that I'm on my own with, and I'm just like, fucking hate my daily life because they don't exist or whatever, like, just my kid on YouTube right now probably is watching some fucking garbage that they can easily not allow kids to watch, but I gotta deal with that. She's just like flipping through and then a commercial comes up. Oh, that looks cool. And she's only 5 years old. She just clicks it. So that's just one thing. There's like a million other things that I want to be like, fuck you. The government needs to fucking shut this shit down. But no, you know what I do? Instead, I talk to my kid about the reasons why she shouldn't be watching these things. And even though she doesn't really understand right now, she will eventually understand it as she gets older. We talk more about it. The details get more, in depth about it. And that's it.
Well, that kind of goes with that's kind of the same thing as like racism, right? I mean, like at the end of the day, I don't really understand sometimes people's points when it comes to racism because there's going to be racist people in the world always.
Right.
So I don't really know where they're trying to go with that, but and I accept that, like we're a big world, so it's fine. But it's kind of like that, right? Where it's like, okay, well,
we get rid of all racists in the world.
Yeah, like we
gotta round them up and throw them in jail.
Right, like
Good
we
luck.
can't do that, I don't believe, but I can definitely, right, like talk to my kid, educate, blah, 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 put him in fucking jujitsu.
Yep.
Like do whatever possible,
This is what racism is. It's if you come across it, then this is how you should handle it, or whatever it is. And you install that in your kid. That's the control you have. That's a powerful thing that people don't take advantage of. And because it's a consistency, it's a lot of work of like continuously talking to your kid about whatever. They want it. Most people just want to be like, Congressman, this thing sucks. And I got 10,000 people that also said that this thing sucks and they signed this document. So go do something about it for me.
Right.
It's basically what Congress is. They just if they hear enough shit about one topic, then they actually talk about it and do something about it. But if they don't hear anything, then they don't do anything. Just like that's the reason why they're not making the third bathroom right now. There's not enough transgenders in the fucking world to fucking do anything. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying it's a mean thing.
But I also feel like it hasn't been brought has it been brought up as an option? Because anytime I've heard anything, it's just to allow them to go into the bathrooms that, But I'm like, what about that option? That's not about
what?
Because again, like whenever I hear the conversations or the debates on it, it's strictly for allowing, let's say trans men to use trans men to use the men's bathroom and trans females to use the female bathroom.
Right.
It's never like, hey, well then how about more of a balanced option? How about we have another? Like I haven't heard that get thrown out.
And the reason is because there's not enough support for it. The support. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to get into today is the enemy that we should be looking at is not a party or a person. We got to look at the media. The media is the one that's injecting these things. Like if there is not, like, that's actually a good one, right? I don't know the statistics. I'm just assuming that like if there was enough transgenders in the world, that I would assume at this point there would be enough like signatures and like breathing down congressmen's necks and whatever to fucking make a difference, and for them to be bringing it up and be like, listen, we got to fucking do something about this because there's like, so all these people are like wanting this to happen, right? So but it's not, right? So
I believe that has been happening.
It has to a certain extent, but they're not like making laws or anything or changing anything really. It's just about the conversation. And where does the conversation come from? The media. It's being injected as if it's like just a division thing. It's another. You got Republicans, you got Democrats, you got transgenders, you got gays, you got whites, you got blacks, you got Asians, and we're all just fucking humans just trying to figure out our shit, completely complex, each individual, right? That's how we should be seeing things, but we don't. We want to throw into the boxes, and then we create this division amongst ourselves. We do it. No politician is doing it, but the media heightens that. They find the thing that is trending, whether it's transgender or whatever the fuck it is black killings or white kill, whatever the fuck it is, and they're just like, all right, this is what they're kind of into. Let's overload on this fucking negative bullshit or whatever because they really want to see this. But fuck that shit. You got your own mind. You don't have to ingest this bullshit. It's there is we don't need this division about of all these different things. Most people, if you have an actual one-on-one conversation with them, would agree with everything I'm saying right now. It's like, all right, well, like I don't give a shit if you're transgender. Just like I personally don't want, a guy that is transitioning into a girl being in the same bathroom as my 5-year-old daughter. That's my opinion. Somebody else might not care about that, right? But I'm kind of going off track here. But like I'm just saying that it's so complex that you can't just throw it out there and be like, throw that in that box and let's debate about the different boxes. No, because there's so much nuance within that, and we need to like do that in a local level amongst ourselves. And if it's strong enough, it'll build to a point of like, we don't give a shit what the federal government thinks. Like look at look at like Seattle or even like Oregon or California in general, like San Francisco. San Francisco started as kind of more like a gay community out there, right? A long
San
time
Francisco
ago.
is super. I thought still.
Right. So they built up a whole city based around this, and people moved there back in like the day to like because like they were like we'll feel like we fit in there, right?
I wonder how Wilton Manors actually came about. Like I wonder how
Wilton
that
Manors is
started.
another one down in Florida, they just said, you know what? Let's just like do our own thing. So why can't we just? That's what we've always done. Why does it have to be like everybody in the world has to know that this is happening? Like if it's so important in your community, then go talk to your community and fucking do something about it. Start some company or businesses that are based around whatever it is. Doesn't forget transgender, whatever the fuck the topic is. And if you get enough support for it, that means people care about it, and then you do something about it. You don't need high level, top down, tell everybody what to do shit.
I feel like honestly, once it gets there, then now it's good.
That's a mess up there.
Yeah, it is a mess.
Then you have less control. You think you're like, yeah, we're gonna the Democrats or whatever the fuck it is, they're gonna do something and they're gonna make laws, and then everybody's gonna have to fall in line. No, it gets more complicated and more division and more hate and anger, and because not everybody's gonna agree with this shit.
Right.
But that's okay. Not everybody not everybody agrees that I want to eat organic and everybody should eat organic. I'm going to force everybody to go fucking eat organic. No, I'm just going to do it myself. And if people want to do it, then they'll join along and I'll be friends with them and whatever. Who cares about everybody else? Man, I'm really ranting here. But yeah, those are the things I really wanted to bring up because I just thought it was important to like talk about those. Like, it's too complicated and we simplify it as a culture, but it's not simple. So why do we try to simplify it? It's because it's overwhelming. It's too complicated. Nobody wants to get into the weeds about it. Mm-hmm. But that's what you need to do if you really give a shit about it. The end. Like I give a shit about it, so we started a podcast so we could talk about it. Now, do we have like a zillion followers? No. But we gather the people that agree with us. That's what podcasts are, right? So that's it.
Again, I think that people are starting to do that more. Like I think that is happening more because I think that people are seeing that, well, this actually is in fact what we have to do then,
Yeah.
But I don't see anything wrong with that. I would actually rather go that route than the route of the fucking government. That's for damn sure.
It seems easy at first, but it makes the world more complicated and divided after something gets done of like, this is what it is, and everybody has to follow suit because they're not thinking of all the details that you're thinking about
thinking of.
within your community and your neighborhood.
Well,
They
because
can't.
not, some of them aren't in your community.
Yeah,
so,
they
right. So
can't.
how can they actually sit
can't.
there and empathize and go, oh, you know what? So I know exactly what we're going to need here and blah, 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 blah. No.
They never do. They always get it wrong. It's never right. So if you really care that much, then go do something. Most people just don't actually want to do the actions of like what needs to be done because it's too much fucking work.
Yeah.
And you need to take responsibility for that within yourself and say, yeah, just like I want everybody to eat organic, but I'm not out there fucking protesting. You know why? Because that's not the hill I'm going to die on. I'm just going to fucking do my thing. I talked to my wife about it. I talked to my kid about it. And the people we kind of hang out with understand that shit. And like, and who gives a fuck about anybody else? Like what it doesn't, as long as nobody's coming in and trying to like remove my organic food, which is kind of something they were attempting to do. I think it's getting a little more, that is kind of going away now. We're going away from like all that shit. But I think that was a potential thing that was happening maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you know?
See, again, it's like, then they get involved with like the whole abortion thing. Like nobody should even be that should not be a government thing.
Oh my God,
I'm so confused as to why that's even happening. That should be something that is just a nothing thing.
It's because of
that's either, if you want to do this, go. It's there. If you don't go. I don't understand why there has to be protests and all these things towards the other people who agree differently. Who cares if they agree differently? Everyone's going to not agree on the same thing. Right. But guess what? If you want to, do it. If you don't. I don't understand why that has to be a political fucking law thing.
Another responsibility that should fall on our like congressmen and senators is the ability to like say no, meaning like to actually say these things. If you get constituents or whatever that are saying a certain thing or whatever about like wanting everybody in a whole state or something to like have a third bathroom, just using that as an example because we're talking about this, but that person should look at the details and say, okay, well, I understand your particular needs or wants, and maybe you have a little group behind you of this, but like the overwhelming majority is not on board with this, or it's not affecting them in any way, so there's no need to like do anything about this, right? And to say, no, that's not us. And if you want to do that and maybe connect them with their local councilman member or whatever, or even maybe the mayor, and like do something at the lower levels and figure it out within your little community and do something there. If it gets bigger, then great. Then you spread that on to the rest of the world, and then everybody's got 3 fucking bathrooms or whatever. Great. I don't care. But like, you can't just across the board just be like, I'm going to the top, and I'm going to get my congressman, and he's going to talk about it at the fucking, at the White House or whatever. Like, it's just stupid. It's lazy is what it is too. It's fucking lazy. Like, you just like, hey, that guy up there, oh, he listens to me, he do something about this, and then he makes a stupid fucking law that affects everybody that shouldn't even be affected by it. Just do it in your community, do it small, do it locally, and then if it's a good thing and everybody agrees with it, then guess what? It's going to spread.
The last thing before we hop up off this, because I have so many things to get done, is it's like I can't end without just saying this last
everything
thing.
is okay. Don't look at us as bad guys.
No, I can't. No, fuck. I'm not saying that, but I can't end without touching on briefly, not getting into it so much, this whole Charlie Kirk thing. But the aspect of it that I really want to touch on that actually really bothered me tremendously. And I got to tell you, I'm not someone who gets bothered by political stuff or anything that happens. nothing's really like, I've just kind of lived in my own like bubble. I'm just kind of like doing my thing, working, taking care of my family, doing whatever. So it's rare. So if it did affect me or something does affect me, it's because it's like I felt that it was like a really big deal, you know? It's like even like at work, like I hear a lot of stuff, you know? And there's a lot of stuff that will bring tears to my eyes when I hear it, you know? But it's like because I hear so much stuff, when I hear things, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, like it's not hitting me as intensely because I've heard so much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I think what really did it for me with the whole Charlie Kirk thing was the whole so many people celebrating the fact that someone was like assassinated for like the world to see, basically.
Yeah, that
Um,
was weird.
that was it was I like the disappointment that I felt in the world and in the United
Mm.
States was so high. Like I've never been disappointed about like I'm not one to really get disappointed, but I felt legitimately disappointed in all of us. Like I was just like, what? Like someone got murdered. I don't care who that someone is. I don't care if that someone is, you know, a freaking racist. I don't care if that someone is a murder. I don't care. I don't like to celebrate someone dying or, you know, like someone being murdered, someone being it to me that's not something to celebrate in any way shape or form. It's really fucking unfortunate and it's really awful. So the fact that I even had to like just get off of fucking social media for a minute and just like block the whole world because I was like, this is insane. I was getting it in so many directions, but I truly, truly, truly hope, my God, for this world. I don't even care if this happens after I die, you know, like, or after my daughter dies or whatever it is. But I really do hope that in another world, another dimension, maybe like after I'm dead, that changes and that we as people can actually just see people, as human beings. We have a brain, we have hair, we have face, nose, eyes,
Mm.
everything. We're all like the same on the inside. There's nothing different besides the fact that I'm brown and you're like
We're all
tan or
complex
whatever. Okay. Like
individuals, like humans.
everybody has shit going on. Everybody has something. No one's fucking perfect.
Right.
Okay. Like, and I hope that that day does come sometime because I mark my fucking word. If I ever fucking raise my child to hate anybody so much so that she's willing to fucking celebrate someone else's assassination and someone being murdered, no matter who they are, then I didn't do my fucking job.
Yeah, I think that's just like bad parenting with people.
I didn't
that
do my
that.
fucking
That's
job. Okay. But there's no way in hell that I am okay with that. I'm so disappointed and I really hope that that changes. That's my focus of that whole thing. I feel so bad for him and his family and anybody else. I don't even really like the death penalty. I'm not someone who even really enjoys that. Like I'm not someone who's like, yeah, death penalty. I'm just like,
here's
oh
the
God,
other
like that,
thing that you
yeah,
may
like,
have been
sucks.
captured by. This whole thing could have been. This is a possibility, which I think is a high possibility, right? That the number of people that are doing that. First off, once again, there is no utopia world. You are always going to get people that do that on either side of whatever.
So sad.
It just is.
That's what's sad
It
to
just
me
is
that
until
is
we
sad to me.
evolve as humans to a certain level where we
Ugh.
all agree
The
that
whole
like you
world
just
has to
don't
take
teach your kids
shrooms.
that type
The
of shit.
whole world has
I
to
agree.
take shrooms.
I
You
agree.
know what I'm gonna fucking do? There's this fucking show on Hulu with Nicole Kidman, okay? And she has this retreat, right? And she basically, in the first season, people went to the retreat, but they didn't know that she was dosing them with fucking these doses of fucking psilocybin, okay?
Jesus.
So they were basically all there because they experienced something. Someone lost a sibling, someone lost this, blah, 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 stuff like that. So they wanted to go on this like, you know, spa retreat type thing. So she's dosing them in their smoothies, in their like organic food and all this stuff and da 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 da. And they're going through these fucking journeys, okay? Like the whole entire time.
They don't even know why. That's
they
crazy.
have no idea until the
That's
end.
a show? I want to watch
Yes,
that.
it gets super deep,
Holy shit.
super fucking intense, but they grow so much from it. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. I want to start a fucking place. I just want to start fucking just dosing people with like crazy levels of psilocybin,
Right.
and let's just all fucking
Instead of microdosing the world with fluoride for your teeth, why don't they microdose the world with freaking psilocybin just
my
a little bit to
gosh,
kind of just make everybody think a
jeez.
little bit?
Everyone needs to do it. If you're afraid to do it, that means you need to do it.
Exactly. That's the best reason. That's the
You're
most.
afraid to do it.
That's the
Then you got to do it
most important reason to do it.
in a safe and clinical
That's also
way
huge.
with people who are safe around you.
Yeah. Now, but the first, what I'm saying is like, okay, there's that. The capture part is what I'm saying is the media also takes that the small group of people that decided to celebrate this thing, right? Now, when I mean small group of people, I'm thinking about the world population of freaking 8 billion people. And when I'm talking about maybe 100,000 people, that's literally like a drop in the ocean.
It's like a speck,
right?
Yeah.
So, but people are like 100,000. That's a lot. Okay, compared to 8 billion is like nothing.
Nothing.
Right?
But the
So-
media makes
But the
it a
media
lot.
finds all those 100,000 people,
fuckers.
and they're like, okay, we're gonna show this to everybody, and we're gonna get people riled up
The
and pissed
media
off
makes it a lot.
because that's what it's. This we're feeding into it. If you don't like that in the world, stop fucking watching it.
I know. We're angry at the wrong people here. Okay. I feel like everyone needs to stop being angry at,
We're angry at the wrong
politicians.
people, right?
Stop being angry at even fucking Trump or whoever else you fucking can't stand. Stop being angry at this person, that person, and start getting angry with the media.
Yeah.
Start doing that.
They're the
Start
ones
saying, "Fuck the
inciting you. They're the
news,
ones fucking giving
all
you hype.
news. I don't care who you. I don't care what news outlet you use. All of the news. Fuck the social media. Fuck the Insta. All of it. All of it. In terms of that, get all the political stuff off of social media, Twitter. That should be banned. That should be banned.
Yeah.
People should be banned on being able to actually have anything political on those fucking outlets.
No, that's freedom of speech.
Oh, damn it. Well, there should be shut down the news and MSNBC, Fox,
this
all
is
of it.
once again personal responsibility. If you're somebody out there right now that doesn't like, for example, some people saying like they're celebrating because Charlie Kirk got killed, then stop following them, block them, shut them off, and move on.
Yeah, I don't know why that. You know what? They didn't come up on my feed. So sometimes I go to search,
Mhm.
and then I'm just like scrolling in the search things that pop up, and then I'll be like, "Oh, what's this?" If it
Mhm.
has to do, and then I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then that's what happens. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't even like."
A few
Now
years,
it's just a matter of because I actually really have been like contemplating getting off of Instagram and Facebook. I was off of Facebook for like 5 years at one point, and I loved it. And I'm slowly getting there. I don't know what. I think what's just keeping me in right now is just still that like
addiction.
media addiction type thing, So I'm like, but I'm going to get there, and I can't wait.
But what I've done,
Can't
what
wait.
I've done is like, and no offense to anybody, I didn't purposefully do this because whatever, but I got rid of everybody, right? And then I only followed the pages or the people or whatever that were putting out the things that I want to hear. Positivity. How am I going to boost myself to the next level? Like giving me gratitude, people. Like people are posting like only positive things. If you look on our story all the time, it's only positive, like uplifting, motivating type of things. And that's all I see all day long, unless I purposefully go search for that shit. That's the only time I see it. The
Also,
only
don't
reason-
tell me that you're all about love, and then follow that sentence with I can't stand someone, or I hate this person, or I can't stand that person, or
Right.
this and that. Don't fucking tell me that. Don't say
I'm
it.
all about love,
Don't
but
say it.
like this person,
You can't be
fuck
right.
them.
Okay, just like how people are like, don't say you're neutral, which now I understand. Okay, now I understand. I get it. Right? It's the same thing. Don't say you're all about love. Okay, but then you're not willing to open your mind up to share love or give love to somebody else who you can't fucking stand.
Yeah, if you're all about love, you give out. You're the one in charge of your love. You give it out all over the place to whoever, and you got to give it to everybody equally.
Everyone
if you're
equally.
about love, like the guy that fucking says he wants to kill you, you got to send him love because
He needs it.
he needs it the most. right?
He
The
needs
guy
it.
that's about to like beat you up or fight with you or whatever, that guy needs the most love, right? Or the guy that's going to argue with you about something that you disagree with, that person needs the
Needs it.
most love, right? So that's when you are all about love.
That's when you're all about love. Going back to the brother of the young gentleman who was shot and killed by the Caucasian police officer, and he was black. She thought it was her apartment, but it wasn't, right? And she killed him. And his brother went on the stand and looked her in the face and said, "I forgive you." The whole family did. Then cut to Erica Kirk, right? Which people were
Charlie
shitting
Kirk's
over.
wife is,
How can
like,
you shit
said the
over
same.
someone actually just basically simply saying, "I forgive this
Somebody
person"?
shit on them? People shit on
Yeah,
them?
people were like saying like stupid things about it, and I was like, "What? What can you?" She, that's brave. That's like
hard.
that's a high level of like love. Okay,
And understanding about yourself
Jesus,
and just how like the world actually
Whew.
works, right?
I mean, that brings me to tears. Stuff like that. So, but anyway,
yeah.
since what am I over at lunch?
I did want to touch on this.
Oh, I
real
don't have
quick.
time. I have to fold clothes.
Oh my God, I'm gonna help you fold clothes. So you do it.
No, you're not.
Twice as
You're
fast.
going to take Soul to a friend's house so she can actually go play, and I'm
What?
going to meet you there. In the meantime, I'm going to fold clothes.
Oh, that's what's happening?
Yeah, we got things to do.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're doing on the weekends. I just get told what to do. Go here. You go there. Be here at that time.
All right.
Okay. Well,
let's wrap up for the day.
It was good. I feel good to get that off my chest.
I had to get it off my chest. It just wasn't, I was trying to get it off. I got it off to you, which was good. And I got it off to our friends, which is good. I love my friends so much. All of them. Every single one of them. And I tried to get it off to my family. It didn't really hit that well. But you know.
Sometimes when you give love to people that disagree with you, they hate you even more.
Yeah, the pushback is really
but
or they think you're being like fake or something.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not being fake. I actually just really like I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not trying to like anyway.
The focus should be, and what the media and the news should be putting out is like saying, listen, we can't divide each other anymore.
They should be saying that all the time.
We're gonna
Every
stop
day.
posting things that aren't really like the majority of what the majority of people feel and think. Right? They find these little things and they're like, okay, this will get people riled up and divided.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Listen, this is, I guess I would get into conspiracy theory, like, oh, they're purposefully doing it. It seems like they are.
Seem like
and it's
they
working.
Are, guys. Why would, yeah,
it's working.
Think about it.
So,
does.
like, why? I don't know.
I
That's
don't
up
know
to you to
either,
go research and figure out or whatever. But, like, it seems like it's happening.
Yeah, I agree.
So, if you don't like it, take responsibility. Stop watching the shit. Mm-hmm. And then put out the energy that you want and follow the people with the same energy, and that's it. And just focus on your little world. And who gives a fuck about what's happening in fucking Yemen and whatever the fuck else, because it doesn't really actually affect your bubble here, really.
Well, it doesn't. It's sad and it's unfortunate. We can obviously have feelings towards those things, but we can't do anything about it, you know?
Of course, you can have feelings towards it, but you can't. But recognize that you have no power to do anything unless you're about to fly over there and start like feeding some like people that don't have food or something or whatever the fuck the problem is.
Right, exactly. And if you did do that, man, right? Fucking on to you, man.
Good
fucking
for you.
Badass shit. Like, I
but if you're not,
the shit out of you.
If you're not, then just own up and be like, I have no control over that. I love my family. That's it. I'm not going to put out this negative energy about how fucking shitty it is over there and somebody needs to fucking do something.
I'm going to put out positive energy to them. I'm going to put out positive energy to my family, to everybody in the world. And I'm just going to continue to do that and just send the frequency of love. That's what I'm going to continue to do.
And when you get on some shrooms, you realize that is the only thing you can do.
That's
the only control that you have over yourself, your immediate surroundings. Even that, like, I don't have complete control over you at all, or whatsoever, and I don't want it. You shouldn't want to have any kind of control over people.
No, that's gross. Let people be who they are.
Right. That's the joy of life, of interacting with people.
I think that makes life exciting. I don't understand why people want people to think the same way that they do or to say the same things. To me, that is boring as fuck. I don't want to be around people who think just like me. That's boring.
It's because we've been living in a society built on, like, the foundation is based around fear, constant fear of something happening. Well, so somebody's going to take care of it. The president is going to do something about this. No, you're going to do it. When it hits your fucking front doorstep, you got to be able to do something about it.
Wild. Anyway, okay.
Anyways. And
All
we'll
right.
end there.
And we're done. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And have a great week.
Yep. See you later.
Bye.
Love you.